Not every show can be a base hit. Not every show can be a home run. Sometimes the show can just strike out. And Impact Wrestling this week struck out with me. This was a definition of a filler show if I've ever seen a filler show. Sometimes filler shows can be fine, but this filler show was executed kind of poorly. And honestly, did not even get me hyped up for Redefined. I feel like Redefined itself with the card that you see on paper looks more interesting than what this show did. And honestly, I wish they kind of did one of those little studio shows where they kind of just show packages and stuff like that of the current product and then just build up Redefined for next week than what they actually put out. Because what they actually put out was kind of... It didn't get me hyped up for Redefined at all next week. You started with the opening segment. Cringe Edwards comes out and he's doing his little, when I was a man, I was down, but I got back up. The audience members feel kind of weird watching him. Like, they didn't really feel like, oh, I should cheer him, but at the same time, they didn't want to boo him. But they're just kind of watching him like, what's the point of Eddie Edwards' character? Then you have Aries and Killer Cross come out, beat him up. Moose comes back. Moose gets a good reaction. Fans are excited to see Moose again. And I guess we get a tag team match for Redefined next week. Is that our main event? I don't know. I was expecting a world title match to be our main event. And I know already there's going to be someone that's like, Chase, did you see the spoilers? Don't you know what's going on? No, I don't read the fucking spoilers. Like for real. Like, it's funny, like, that people would think I would know what's going on. No. I would figure that if you're doing a Redefined, a free per-view, that you're going to be giving us a title match. Not a tag team match. That's the thing. And then people get all mad at me because I didn't read the spoilers. Like, what do you Impact fans want from me? Do you want me to read the spoilers, or do you want me to actually watch the show acting like if it's live? Because I don't care either way. If the spoilers help with the viewing experience and shit, whatever. But for me, I don't read the spoilers. I don't like being spoiled on Impact. It's dumb. So yeah, the tag match was kind of like something where I was like, that's cool. I'm glad Moose is back. That's a highlight, I guess. But him being in a tag match with Psycho Edwards, Cringe Edwards, whatever you want to call them, and Aries and Cross doesn't really do it for me for your Redefined main event, if that is the main event. They hype up Brian Cage speaking for the first time, and I'm all like, yeah, man, I can't wait to see what Weapon X has to say. But instead of in the middle of the ring where it would be more of a challenge for him, he's doing a backstage pre-tape. He finally answers why he's in the X Division for me, because I've been wondering why the hell is Brian Cage wasting his time in the X Division when he's the world champion pretty much, and he pretty much just summed it up that he wants to be like all these X Division greats. That's fine. It's an okay reason, but not really the reason I was looking for. And then later on, he goes off and he says for his big match with Phoenix, instead of Brian Cage saying why he's Weapon X and how he's going to destroy everyone, he just goes, I respect Phoenix and I can do everything he can do, but a little bit better. That's supposed to get me excited for your X Division title match. I didn't know I was watching 2005 Ring of Honor. Or are you guys going to shake hands and do the Code of Honor before this shit? Ugh. And then we get to Allie and her stupid promo of the week. Oh yeah, Kiera Hogan and Alicia Edwards had a match. Who cares? Like, literally, who cares? That match was trash. But then you get to Allie and her same promo of, I'm going to get revenge for everything that Su Yung has done. Sue? Tessa? Let's do a triple threat for the Knockouts title. Like, who made Allie GM all of a sudden where she can just make all these matches and they happen? And it's true. Anytime Allie says something, she still has these, like, wasn't she at one point like the Knockouts assistant or some bullshit? Where she had powers like that? Maybe I'm getting confused with another company character from this company in years past. But really, to be honest, man, why is Allie being able to make all these damn matches? Why would Su Yung say yes to this? She's the Knockouts champion. And it's like, seriously, it is like they wanted to do an Allie and Tessa Blanchard feud, but they knew Su Yung was getting popular. They had to throw the title on Su Yung because they didn't want fans thinking they were neglecting Su Yung like they neglected Rosemary for so many years. And so they gave the title to Su Yung, but that's not the direction they wanted. They want to push Tessa Blanchard. They want this Allie feud. They feel like that's the feud they wanted, but Su Young's just kind of in the middle. You're making your Knockouts champion irrelevant. Like seriously, I would think that if you asked me, Chase, who's the Knockout champion this week? I'd be like, the belt's vacant. Maybe it's Tessa Blanchard. No, it's not her because she just wants it. Maybe Allie just forgot to bring it out because her character's stupid. Seriously, they're not doing a good job with this. I was just like, okay, this is bad. Speaking of not doing a good job, Eli Drake and Matt Sydal. It seems like Matt Sydal, the X Division belt made him more than he made the X Division belt, because ever since losing it his character is just directionless. And speaking of directionless characters, Eli Drake summed it up the best. That dude was great. Eli Drake was all like on commentary this week, and he didn't even know why he was out there. And there was a moment in commentary where like Don Callis said something, and Eli Drake goes, "Oh yeah," and then he's like, "Yeah, I just came to watch this mess. I don't know what I'm doing." And he's smiling, he's laughing at this, and you could tell by his face where he's like, "Yeah, I don't know what this company knows what they're doing with me." I clearly think that Impact Wrestling said to themselves, they didn't know if Eli Drake was signing long term. They didn't plan for anything him long term. And now Eli Drake is doing this. And the thing is, it's so funny. Why is he doing jobber shit like this? He is literally doing lower end jobber stuff. I'm not saying Eli Drake needs to be a world champion, but this guy is a former world champion a year ago. And for where he was a year ago, to even where he was at Redemption when he was teaming with Scott Steiner, that's bigger profile than him doing stuff with Cult of Lee, who have fallen off to the wasteland. They lost to some jobbers. They lost to Max Tinswell and Mr. Atlantis. Like, for real. You're just going to sit here and tell me that, oh, they're using Eli Drake correctly? No. He's doing jobber shit. This guy should probably be in a feud with Phoenix or probably doing something else worth a damn. Maybe him and Seidel should be feuding since they don't have feuds for Seidel either. But no, instead, Eli Drake is dealing with jobbers. Dummies, yeah. Impact, you re-signed this guy. He's a guy that you should be building around. He's a guy that all I hear from Impact fans saying he's great, he's awesome, he's so good. If you were to tell me Eli Drake was a former world champion last year, I would be like, really? Like, seriously, it's like a Jack Swagger push. Like, you remember Jack Swagger became world champ, and then all of a sudden, like, after he lost it, he did nothing? That's how it feels like with Eli Drake. But yeah, I don't know what the hell they're doing with Eli Drake. I don't know what the hell they're doing with Matt Sydal. I get Matt Sydal's doing his little finding a spiritual path thing. But it's like you couldn't find like an opponent for him for Rhea to find. Like what the fuck is Taiji Ishimori doing? He's not doing shit. I don't remember the last time he was on Impact when he beat Desi Hit Squad. Like I feel like that'd be a good feud. Taiji Ishimori, Bone Soldier versus Matt Sydal. Gives somewhat of a name to fight Matt Sydal. Helps improve Taiji Ishimori's name value in the Impact fandom because he's facing a former champion like Matt Sydal. I don't know, that seems like better than Matt Sydal facing Zachary Wentz. Whoever the fuck that guy is. Now it's time for my GWN rant moment of the week. GWN segments I don't talk about. I think they're the worst on Impact Wrestling. So instead, if Impact wants to waste time talking about things from the past, like they do on the shows, I figure it's time for me to waste time to talk about things in the past as well. Last week I talked about how I don't like how Impact Wrestling fans don't listen to opinions and they should pretty much just get mad at everything. The one thing that I want to rant about this week in terms of Impact Wrestling is somewhat of the character development of some of their lower end guys, because I really do feel like Impact Wrestling forgets about their lower card a lot more than a lot of other companies. And it kind of like annoys me where it's just like, you know, some of their lower card guys, like you won't see them for weeks. And I'm not talking about X Division guys. I'm talking about like lower card guys that they're trying to build up to become X Division guys. They'll show them once a while and then they'll disappear. And then you act like I have to go out of my way to find out what's going on with them, like watching the Twitch streams, watching this. For me as a wrestling fan, I already have so much to keep up with. And if I was just devoted to Impact Wrestling, maybe it's a different story. But I'm not just devoted to Impact Wrestling. There's other wrestling that I watch. So stop trying to promote way too damn much Impact. That's what I'm trying to say is that Impact, they have a lot of things that they want to promote. But at the same time, a lot of those things take too much time to actually go out there and see. And I feel like if you're a dedicated Impact fan, that's good that you're able to do all this. And I commend you. But if you're someone that watches other wrestling products as well, I can tell you right now, I don't even like open up WWE Network for every little thing that they have. I barely touch that thing, to be honest with you, when it comes down to it. I only watch WWE Network before Big 4 pay-per-views to get me hyped up for those shit. But when it comes down to it, with all the stuff you got to promote, the GWN, the Twitch, and everything like that, don't try to make it too much, especially if I want to see a lower card guy like Joe Henry. You know, find a way to execute these guys a little bit better, because the one thing I always hear about Impact is that they do little things correctly. And I had to highly disagree, as EC3 would say, because when it comes to little things, Jake Chris crying last week when he came out all celebrating that his head was shaved. Yeah, that's little things that do not make sense or translate. We got an awkward Rich Swann interview with this hot chick. I don't know who she is, but she was hot. The cameraman obviously knew what he was doing because he filmed behind her and was like looking down at her ass or something like that. That was a good angle. I like that guy. He knows what he's doing. Give him a pay raise. But yeah, it was like such an awkward interview. Like I don't know if this girl is a diehard Impact fan or knows anything about Impact Wrestling, but it was just so awkward. Like Rich Swann's talking to her, she's like, It's like, you know, when you're like into something and your girlfriend isn't, and you're trying to tell her the information of what you're into. And you're like, yeah, man. And so when I was with my guild one night, blah, blah, blah. It felt like that. Like Rich Swann was like speaking another language to her. And she was just like, yeah. And then like she's like, when Rich Swann's like, Petey Williams, the Canadian Destroyer, she's like, like, that is funny. Who the fuck laughs at hearing, yeah, the Canadian Destroyer? Like, unless you're making fun of the dude, yeah, but she just laughed like it was like such an inside joke, like, oh, you know, the Canadian Destroyer. It was bad, dude. And then afterwards, he's like, yeah, I want to become X Division champion. And then she's like, I just want to wish you luck. And then she hugs him. It's like, what kind of journalism is this? Where they're getting a hug afterward. Like, that's like me watching fucking Raw, and then Charlie Caruso goes and hugs Roman Reigns before his big world title match. Like, well, good luck, big dog. like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just so awkward. Like, it's just such a weird thing. Like, you know, like, normally like a handshake. Because like, even like Kathy Kelly, when she does those WWE Now things, maybe I've been wrong. I haven't seen every single thing of WWE Now. Like I said earlier in my GWN rant segment, I don't keep up with every little thing in wrestling. You know, I watch what I need to watch. But when it comes down to it, I've never seen her hug someone where it's, unless it's a girl. Girl on girl, that's fine because, you know, that's what girls do, I guess. But with the guy on girl, it looks kind of weird. It looked awkward. And like Rich Swann was just like, yeah, let me just hug this chick. But, whatever. The Mexican death match between Pentagon Jr. and Sami Callihan, honestly, a little bit disappointed from it. I felt it was just too short. I felt like they just didn't have the right time. Like, that's what I felt. Because, like, literally, like, some of the matches tonight, like, that I mentioned, like, Matt Sydal, Zachary Wentz, KM and Falaba taking on the Desi Hit Squad. Speaking of Desi Hit Squad, Jesus, built them up for, like, 2 weeks and you gave up on them. Yuck. I get it, KM and Falaba, you see more value in them, but still, yuck. Then later on, you have that. Then you have Alicia Edwards and Kiera Hogan. I mean, really, to be honest, like, and then the Jobbers versus the Cold of Lee, which the Jobbers won. You know, you would think that maybe Mexican Deathmatch, 30 minutes, that'd be great. It was like around 15. A weird commercial break that really was not needed. And Impact, they've been good with not taking commercial breaks during main events. I remember Edwards versus Aries. There was no commercial break during that one. It was a weird commercial break. And I just felt when the match was actually picking up, the match ended. And I was just like, ugh. I mean, it was fine. It was a fine main event. I'm not going to trash it. Just not as good as I thought it was going to be. But the one segment that highlighted Impact that I'm going to spend the majority of this video talking about was fucking great. The LAX and OGs. Oh, man. They said, you know what? We saw what Matt Hardy did with his recorded crap at home. We're going to steal that and take advantage of it. Because they're taking advantage of it, and good on them. Good on Conan, man. Only Conan, the fucking Hulk Hogan of Mexico. This motherfucker, dude, taking a feud that should be about Santana and Ortiz and freaking the old school guys. That should be about them and stuff. He's trying to make it all about himself. What a fucking mother hero, dude. What a dude. This is what you expect from Conan, man. The usual, man. I can't believe it. All these years later, he's still trying to get himself over. Praise the Conan, dude. The Mexican Hulk Hogan. Praise him. And so you have this silly segment where the boys are back in the hood. They're back in the hood doing their front yard thing. And, you know, I believe it. I could see it. You know, I've grown up with a bunch of Hispanics. So, yeah, that's something I can believe. And then you have this awkward car scene with Keen and Homicide. There's a scene where Hernandez is like looking into the fucking mirror. And he goes... And then afterwards, Conan goes and calls 3 random dudes and like, hey, I got something for you guys. And then they're on freaking Santana was like, what about Richie? Hey man, I didn't forget about you, Richie. Come on, man, let's get over here. The lights turn on. This car speeds. And everyone's mindset is, let's save fucking Conan. And so then they have it where they were like 2 steps off the street, and then all of a sudden the next camera angle took it where they were like already in the middle of the street. And then this is something where it's like they were about to get hit. And I don't care how gangster you are or anything like that, your adrenaline would be like, oh shit, oh, they no-sold this shit. Like Conan was Hulk Hogan here and be like, oh brother, I ain't selling this fucking jobber shit. A truck can try to run me over, but it's whatever, dude. They're like, Conan's like, oh man. And then they turn around like, Richie! They ran over a little kid. And then you get the corny fucking scene, and they're looking up, and they're like, Richie! So fucking corny. And what I love about this, man, is it's like I get it's a game versus game feud. Okay, fine. A kid dies during a game versus game feud. Richie. R.I.P. Richie, man. But it's so funny, man, where it's like to me personally, it's like what's funnier is also the fans debating this shit. Because they're like, oh, so many years. You fanboys want some edgy stuff. And then all of a sudden, Impact gives you a kid dying, and you're not down with that. It's like, here's the thing. So there's good edgy, and then there's bad edgy. Killing a kid randomly that I had no emotional attachment towards, besides the fact that maybe he did some stuff with it. I'm not sure who Richie is. Some Impact fans actually know who he is. I don't know shit about Richie. But I have no emotional attachment to Richie. You just killed a random kid to continue a feud between 2 teams that felt like it was already over after that street fight. Like it just felt like an unnecessary way to continue a feud. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. It's like who the fuck is Richie? I don't know this guy. The only Richie I know is from Pokemon, and he nicknamed his Pokemon like a loser. I don't know this Richie. Fucking holding one of the tag titles and shit. Like that's the thing. Like so many Impact fans get mad when fans are like, "This is so stupid and dumb." You know what? That's their opinions. Don't get mad at it because you gotta admit somewhere deep down inside, you're thinking, "Man, this is kind of stupid that they had to kill some random kid just to get this feud to continue." It was kind of random. It was kind of dumb, but you know what? I liked it. More carny shit. Give me all this carny shit in wrestling. This is shit that I can show my friends. They'll watch and they'll be like, what the fuck is this carny shit you're watching, Chase? And they might be intrigued to see what leads to it, because that's what happened with a lot of friends when I showed them that stupid Matt Hardy crap. They would be all like, I don't know if I want to watch this. That was bad. Oh, you know what? Hey, what's Matt Hardy doing? Like they would ask me too. I'd show them the shit. They'd be like, no, this is bad. Then later on, weeks later, hey, is that Matt Hardy still doing stuff? And I'll be like, yeah. You want to see the other things they do? And they'll love it. This is carny shit you can show to your friends. Is it good carny shit? Is it bad carny shit? That's up to your interpretation. But bottom of the line is this. It's watchable. And there's no debate about that. Even non-wrestling fans can watch this shit and they'll be like, what the fuck did I just watch? They won't even think about it how us wrestling fans did, where it's like, oh, they killed a kid. They'll be like, wait, did they just really run over a kid for what? Shit's great, man. I love it. I know everyone's gonna be like, change your shit. No, I enjoyed myself. That was the only thing enjoyable on Impact, man. Richie, dude. Rest in peace, Richie, dog. Think we found the Impact outro. Remember, guys, just like our former Universal Champion Brock Lesnar, sometimes you don't have to give a shit in life. The smoke show continues on. Oh, yeah, Scarpado slap Grado's ass. Whatever. The Smoke Show continues on, and remember, in moment of silence for Richie. Biggie, I said moment of silence for Richie. Why are you snoring so loud? Rest in peace, Richie.